I'm JP Vargas, and this is the Ace and I podcast. To my right, one
Your
of my
left.
best friends ever, Ace Manuel Frutos, Esquire.
Well, hello there.
Welcome, everybody. Episode 32.
Episode 31.
Pretty sure it's 32.
Okay, 32.
Yeah, I'm bad with it. So
Well, it's a little bit of a joke because we actually had to start re-recording again. I forgot to hit, and we went on and on about, oh man, we got it all good now. The sound is good. The video is good. We're doing a good, everything now. And then sure enough, one of the things I forgot to do because it records off of my phone is to hit do not disturb. So the minute that some kind of,
wrong one.
So then, I forgot to hit that prior to hitting record, and we're like, okay, let's start over. So
This is our second take, but luckily we only missed 45 seconds.
minutes,
Ish.
and then,
Ish.
Anyway, those first 45 seconds weren't that good anyway. I think we're a little bit more settled in because we started drinking a little bit more.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be better.
Hopefully
Yeah, no.
you didn't jinx us again.
We no promises, but
Anyway, that's why he's the engineer now. We were talking about that because I wiped my hands clean of it, and he's got all the fancy equipment. So he's the reason we're here, and everything's better.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be some mishaps, but who cares?
well, just a few minutes ago. But anyway.
We got like 15 people listen anyway.
Yeah, no, well, thank you 15 people, regardless, that are listening and following and subscribing and sharing. And I know there's a couple other people that have added on recently. The one thing I did notice though, and this is not for like anybody who cares, but it's with the stats on Spotify, I've noticed they dropped a little bit more, and I think it's only because some people are actually going to YouTube. So when I get done, we do the podcast, and then I'm cutting the end and the beginning, and I cut all the fat, so most of me is gone.
My fat's still here.
But you got to leave some of it so that way the juiciness of the story stays in there.
Yeah.
And so then I started uploading everything. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore.
Yeah, we get the point.
Yeah, it's hot outside.
It is.
It is really hot outside.
It's today's supposed to be the hottest day of the week, and it's gonna stay in the 90s probably throughout the weekend. Then it's gonna trickle down. I noticed by Easter it's gonna be mid 70s, so it should be nice weather.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but right now we're just gonna have to tough it out, and fucking deal with it.
So I remember now. Okay, good thing you talked about the weather because next we're gonna cover traffic. But yeah, no,
And
it was
sports.
Yeah, traffic, sports, weather, traffic on the hour. So the stats, the numbers of people on Spotify, we tend to look at it, follow, see how many people listen to whatever episode, any kind of comments or whatever. And well, you were doing it a lot in the beginning. I didn't even have the damn password. I was like, you gave it to me, but
I've been freaking busy, so yeah. Otherwise, I would check it.
Well, the number of people when I upload the podcast, I do add both links. One of them's YouTube, the other one's Spotify. So again, people have their choices. When you add up both numbers of people that have either watched it on YouTube or Spotify, it still comes out to the same amount.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Views. But
it's all about people just choosing their
their
preference. It's not a big deal. We're just happy to have somebody watching or listening.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, very, very happy to have people want to hear us with our nonsense every week. And I know we have some new stuff we wanted to talk about. No more Xfinity stories and but actually I kind of still do have one.
Oh, go for it.
Oh my gosh, dude. So
a little residual from last episode.
Yeah, no. So the last time I was talking about, switching over to like a cheaper plan that was actually more services, a little bit better deal. Excuse me. Sorry, Bob. And so then I had the equipment, the gateway that, they rent to you, and it's actually included in the plan now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, okay, well, this one's probably, I've had it, I looked it up and it's like, well, every 2 to 4 years, you're supposed to take those back. Sometimes new stuff is out and it'll help out with your speeds and it'll help out with your connectivity. You don't drop so much when you're on Wi-Fi or whatever. And so then I said, okay, well, I'll wait until the weekend. I don't have any other time, I'm normally at work. By the time I get done, I have maybe a half hour to get over there and try to deal with it. And you never want to be that guy. These people are trying to get home already, and you got some dickhead that's walking in like 5 minutes left, and you're like, hey, I just want to know everything about my bill, and can I swap out my equipment? And so, over the weekend, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go over to Xfinity over by Winco, over by Harbor Freight in that little area. So they have one over here, but it's a branded store. It's not an actual Xfinity by Comcast, and that's what they call the other ones. And so I go over there, and the guy's kind of rude. I mean, so like right on par. I mean, same customer
You're
service I got
only
on the
fucking
phone.
up at the end of the day.
And yeah, dude, and it's like I go over there and I'm, want to swap everything out, and he scans it in, and he's still trying to sell me on other shit I don't want. I'm like, hey, I just want this. Like I know what I want. I don't really need anything extra. I'm like, no, I'm good, thank you. And he makes his little comment, and it kind of irritates me. And then he goes back to the back, and he brings another one of those gateways, just basically, the router and modem that's built into one. That's what a gateway is. And so, dude, I ended up with the same fucking device that I turned in. It was the same model. It was like, it looked exactly the same. And I know that they have updated ones. So I'm like, oh, okay.
So when you said you wanted a replacement, did you specify you wanted the upgrade? I'm just curious.
Well, I mean, it
should be like, common sense.
Right. Well, and then too, like if you guys have phased out like something old and something new's coming in,
most companies do that.
you would think, right?
Yeah.
So when I show up and then they give me the same exact thing that I just like left with, I mean, I showed up with, I'm like, okay, I was trying to save a little bit of time. So in front of Fashion Fair, which is probably a few miles from here now, but I was closer to this one. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go over here. First mistake. I'm like, well, cut corners. It never works, right?
Never.
So I drive over to Fashion Fair and I tell them, hey, I just went to one of your branded stores. I wanted to make sure, is this the most updated equipment I can get? I have this speeds, this and that, whatever. The guy's like, oh my gosh, yeah, no, let me get you the right one. Goes back, grabs me something totally different. He goes, I don't know if they told you, but when you get home, all you have to do is just like connect with the app. And, just have the Xfinity app, how you pay your bill, and it'll just like immediately just work. Everything will be fine. So I'm like, okay, cool. I end up, I don't know. It's like maybe 5 seconds into it. Seriously, dude, it was like, hey, do you want to connect to the new device? Yeah. Go through all the steps. None of it worked. So there I am, another phone call to Comcast, Xfinity. Have no idea what the guy's saying anymore. It's the weekend, so again, I'm talking to another country. And
Somalians.
yeah, no, it was just really rough, dude. It was really like, and they want to apologize for a lot of stuff, and it's just kind of weird because you're just like, no, I don't need to apologize. Can you please get this?
No, just shut the fuck up.
Just
just shut.
Exactly, that's how it was, and we're gonna put you on a brief hold, and he explained it every step to me, and I'm like, hey, just get it running. And I miss the old days of like, before Comcast, you have like a technical, you get somebody foreign, of course, in the beginning, and then you end up having somebody like in Iowa or something who was like some old, like older white guy who probably used to climb the pole and set up the entire infrastructure for Comcast. And so, or whatever they were called back then. And this guy just knew all of his shit. He can tell you how, what settings to set. You're over there like basically programming whatever. Well, this guy that I barely understood, he's telling me, hey, okay, I need you to get your phone, go to Xfinity blah, 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 whatever. And I'm like, I'm thinking this is part of the process of setting this thing up. And so he's trying to sign me up for like freaking like Lifeline something or other, which is like, do you get any services? I'm like, no, bitch, I work. Like, I don't get anything for free. And he's like, no, we got like welfare Comcast if you need it.
Did you tell me you were platinum or not?
Oh, by the way, no longer platinum.
Oh, okay.
I'm no longer platinum. I am now diamond. I am the top, diamond, dude. Yeah, that means
that's a boost.
Well, no, it just means they're gonna fuck with you more when you call them.
Oh yeah.
And so then, we go through the whole process. He gets it running. At a certain point, the phone disconnects, and I'm like, okay, it's running. I don't even want to talk to this dude no more. They try to call back. It's good. We're good now. And then so I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, okay, well, they sent me the next bill and it says, okay, it's due in April. And I started thinking, I'm like, oh, hey, before all this, I had a zero balance. And then at one point I had a $60 credit. So now, like, where's my $60 credit? So now I already know that I have a fun-filled evening at some point between here and then that I have to call and go, hey, I had a $60 credit that just completely went away. You gave me a $30 bill, and then you wiped off the $30 bill, but then I ended up at zero again. So I had $60 credit. I'm gonna have to go through this whole thing all over again. Anyway,
Make sure you talk to Mike.
yeah, no, seriously. And the funny thing about it is when we, like, the guy that I ended up meeting up with, we talked to this dude and it was like, his name was Mike over at the fashion fair store. I'm like, hey, Mike, it's funny because the only person that was able to help me, his name was actually Michael. And, you know, it seems like
My son's name's Mike.
yeah. No, it was like kind of a thing. It's like, well, I
You
can't
have a
forget.
mic in front of you.
Yeah. There's two mics here. And ironically, that's not what messed up. It was the phone
Mike's
earlier.
never worked for me.
Oh no, yeah. No, it was rough.
So did you get it straightened out?
I have one more phone call just to get $60, but at this point, it's like an
You've
hour
been
of my
juggling
time.
that $60 forever already.
Honestly, dude, I feel like I don't even care anymore. Like if it's not even there, like it's not a big deal.
That's funny. Yeah. All right. Good job, Xfinity.
Yeah, no, back at it. One more phone call. We should have it all dialed in. And but the internet's good.
No, that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, mine. I love mine.
Yeah.
I love my internet's perfect. My phone's perfect. I'm perfect.
Yeah, oh yeah.
My life's perfect. No, that's not true. But real quick, before I forget, speaking of good service, so a good friend of ours, a good friend of the show, he's actually been on the show. His name is Niles Foot. I went to high school with him. He's a good friend of mine. And last time he was on, he talked about starting his business. He really didn't get into it, did he? I can't remember.
He was talking about something coming up in the works, but he was going to hold off and actually not make any mention of it until it was actually up and running. So
He gave me the okay. I wanted to say, hey, can I give you a plug? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. He's got his website up. Everything's up. He hasn't really did too much promoting on his website his Facebook, but I can see why they have their own Facebook now. But anyway, he does a bin cleaning service. And what that is, there's a couple in town. I know there's one in Clovis. I was following this fucking guy down Shaw last week, and he was going slower and shit. But what they do is they they sanitize and clean your trash bins. Because, City of Fresno won't do it. City of Clovis won't do it. And that subcontractor, Republic, who now dumps my shit, they don't do it either. They just dump. And they'll take it away and then they'll bring you another one. But there are services out there that clean these bins. And Niles started his company, and it's called Bravo Bin Cleaning. And they have a website, bravobincleaning.com, and he's on Facebook, Instagram, and X. His phone number, if you need that service, is 559-421-0177. Like he says...
Se habla español.
No, I doubt that.
Se habla English.
He might run it through an AI generator.
Yeah, okay.
Try to communicate. But, people say they'll do it. Like this is what Niles says. People say, they'll do it, but they won't. And I don't know if you ever tried to hose out your fucking trash bin. Well,
yeah, not here anymore.
Not here
but yeah.
at the complex, but like I've tried it before, and it activates the funk. There's a horrible
It smells like Wingstop.
yeah, it's fucking horrible all throughout the neighborhood. It attracts flies. And where are you doing it? You're gonna do it on your grass. The stank's gonna be there on your grass. Call this guy up. At least I don't know what the cycle is, what he wants. Obviously he's gonna need clientele, but I don't know what the cycle is. If it's like a
do it on your neighbor's grass.
huh?
Just do it on your neighbor's grass.
But it's the same. It still travels.
Yeah, that's true.
It's. I mean, you guys have all smelled, rotten garbage can. It's horrible, and you add water to it. You put all the soap and Fabuloso and
Yeah,
all the
dude.
other shit. It just adds to it. But anyway, so this service, he picks it up, he cleans it, he sanitizes, and then like I said, it's on a cycle. I don't know what it is, whether it's once a month or every 6 months. I'd probably do it every maybe quarterly. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if I can afford that service every month, but I don't know how it works.
Well, it depends on what's recommended, and I mean
Well,
how dirty it gets.
look up his website. Check it out. I really haven't had a chance to look through it, but we want to send some clients his way because he's a good friend of the show.
Yeah,
He
oh yeah,
listens to the show, and I'm really proud of you, Niles.
yeah. Congrats, Niles,
I
on the
I
new business
appreciate
venture.
your support with us and being a good friend. And I remember when you told me about this. It was actually last spring, I believe. He had brought it up. I was like, man, I wish you all the success in the world, man. I hope it works out. And I know he was being very thorough and tedious, and he was going through all the proper channels. And yeah, he finally did it, man. He got himself a truck. He's got all his gear. He's got a setup, and all he needs now is some clients. So check him out. Check out his. It's Bravo Bin Cleaning. Lookonline.com, Instagram, X, Facebook.
Yeah, no, it's kind of funny too because it's one of those ideas of things that you don't realize that you do need. I mean, how much better it would be with that service, and there's not. I mean, as far as I know, there's not a lot of people doing it, so it's kind of a
No,
nice.
I remember when he told me, I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." It's funny, and then I saw I know there's a company out of Clovis. I've seen him a couple times, and they pissed me off. They were like in the middle lane, and they're going 25 miles an hour, and I just want to get over somehow, and they're just blocking me in. But anyway, so I know there's services out there, and yeah, I don't know how competitive it is, but I hope he.
Well, he'll do a good job. He won't block you in traffic.
It's just me bitching, and you know what it is. You ever been in Clovis on Shaw?
Oh yeah.
Like, how annoying is that?
Oh man,
you
it
get
is.
nowhere quick.
It doesn't matter what time of day.
No, you got a ton of people. Like, don't people fucking work, right? And so they go slow as shit. They're like all synchronized, so you can't move around anybody. And then when you hit a stoplight, each one takes seriously 7-8 minutes. I'm like, what the fuck is going on
Oh
here?
yeah, dude.
Like, how about some sensors or something? You know what I mean? They're sitting at a light and nobody's going, north south, and you just want to fucking get somewhere. In fact, I just came from my dealer. I'll tell you about that later on in the show. But I had to come from Clovis. It was Sean Fowler. I met this guy to work a deal, but I left at 5 o'clock. What time did I get here?
5:30.
5:30. I stayed in the middle lane all the way down Shaw because I wasn't gonna fuck with the
Oh, there are
freeway.
two lanes. Oh.
The freeway, but no, I mean there's three lanes all the way down Shaw, but it's always better to stay in the middle because people make lefts, they make rights, they fill up the turning lane. But guess where most of my time was spent? In fucking Clovis. Every fucking stoplight. I was like, shit. I think by the time I got to Fresno, it only took me 10 minutes to get to your house. I
Oh,
spent
yeah.
20 minutes just in Clovis, and it was 4 or 5 stoplights. It was ridiculous.
I mean, it's kind of funny that it seems like at certain parts of the day, like one side of Shaw, everyone has to be going one direction, and the other side's empty.
Yeah.
And it just depends on where people are all heading. Like, where are you guys all going?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I didn't
Clovis
get
is
I didn't
busy.
get a memo.
Well, I know that people in Clovis love Uber, and I can see why. Nobody wants to be on the fucking road.
Yeah, no one wants to drive. It fucking creates anxiety and stress and all kinds of other shit where you're like, I just don't want to drive anymore.
But yeah, hey, good luck to you, Niles. We're your biggest supporters. Rook, I wanted to hear the trial story.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, we had talked a little bit. It's recently on the news, so I'm not really spilling the beans on anything that shouldn't be said. City of Fresno recently, well, they get sued all the time, but they had an ex-employee who was a good friend of mine who I worked with, and she had gone through quite a bit of mess working with the city of Fresno. They had a supervisor over there who was just pretty much known to be racist, and it's one of those things. It's kind of always hard to tell. Like, is it racism or are you just an asshole? You know, and like some people are just assholes, but then it's like, okay, well, when it's really directed towards somebody, it might be,
Yeah, at least make it
one,
funny, like how I
yeah.
do it on Facebook. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It's at least it's funny. This wasn't funny, dude. This person was pretty much harassed for like a long period of time.
Right.
And so I remember I was even in some mess for speaking up on her behalf. And like actually, because me and her, we used to work back to back. You know, we were in a cubicle together. So we went out in the field and, did a lot of work together. And, uh, it was one of those like, you can always tell it was really subtle, but it was like, hey, they always check on one person. It wasn't like she wasn't doing her job or any kind of weird anything like that. And anyway, so they kept picking at her. She had won a lawsuit prior to with the city of Fresno. I believe
Oh,
she had, yeah, she
she
had,
had more than one? Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, there was another one prior to that. And so what happened was, recently, I wasn't with the city of Fresno anymore. They hired this one guy. It was a white dude, and he was like, went out with the supervisor. The supervisor is a white guy, and I guess they get to
You
riding
know, when you
around.
get those two together.
Oh man. Well, I mean, it's kind of funny, but it's like the thing is that's exactly what happened. Well, this dude, the supervisor, started to like kind of confide in the worker there, and he thought, hey, we're cool, and he's like, hey, look at my skin color, look at yours, so we're gonna bro out together, and I'm gonna start talking some stuff, and
It happens. And don't act like that doesn't happen with other races either. We're
yeah,
not
no,
implying
it's
anything.
it's not like that, but also like in the workplace, that's not a place for that kind of stuff,
No,
and
you
I
gotta be
mean.
neutral.
Yeah, well, even then, like you can still have like feelings about whatever. You can, have your opinions of whatever, but when it starts to affect other people's livelihoods and that kind of stuff, I mean, that's uncalled for. I mean, do you? Yeah, we're not saying anybody's perfect, but also too, like that should not affect your job or any, uh, I mean, you're getting paid to be there, people. It's not like you can just, run off and say whatever you want. I mean, everyone's all freedom of speech and this and that, but when it becomes like that kind of stuff, I mean, there's a fucking line to draw still. And so this dude thought, well, this guy, we're, pretty same in shade apparently. And so he starts, dropping some racial slurs, and it had to do with this person who sued the city. This guy was new, the guy with the supervisor, he was still a new guy, ends up he's still on probation, and then does the whistleblowing. He goes and he speaks up because it's not right, and so they let him go. They fired him, dude. So it all came to light. Everything came out. Realized what was going on. There was I mean, it went through the courts and everything a few weeks ago. I had mentioned I was a witness for this case, and like just a week ago from yesterday, it was like about 8 days ago now. Um, Come to find out that she won $15 million. The city is going to have to pay out, and then the guy with the wrongful termination for speaking up, for what's right, he ended up winning $400,000, and it's like, man, you can't do stuff like that. And and I'm happy for her because it's validation. It's like, you're not crazy. You feel that, like, this guy obviously had some kind of an issue, and it came out, and the jury right away came back, and yeah, no, it was, uh, I mean, it's a good story. I mean, the weird thing is this guy still works there.
No.
Yeah, dude.
You get demoted at least?
No, he's still a supervisor over there. So I'm not really sure once it's all played out and he's been, I mean, the city has been found liable for this amount, and now this guy still works here. So I'm kind of curious, like, what are they going to do with him?
Well, it's funny when I worked at the city of Fresno. I remember people saying, "Oh, you'd have to murder somebody to get fired around here." You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
um, and it was true. I mean, but there are certain people. Well, I'm not going to get into it. I've heard some things that have happened after I left, but I'm not going to get into it because I can't. You can't speak to it when you don't know the whole story. So I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. But uh, bad
It's
things happen when you do things that you know what to keep outside of work. Just
Yeah. Oh yeah.
calm down. And that's coming from me, who I've fucked up a lot. You know what I mean? Like I have, sometimes I have no filter and I say things, and I should
Well, it
really
makes for
just
an
hold my
awesome
tongue.
podcast, though.
Yeah, it does. Especially when I'm drinking. But in certain situations, it's almost like like you go to grandma's house, you're not cussing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know that. So like when you're around certain people, like fuck this and blah blah blah, and you know what I mean. You won't do that at grandma's house. So it's the same with certain work environments. Actually, all work environments should be like that. But I came from like construction.
Yeah, the more blue collar stuff, it's a little, more stuff is being said for sure.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of racism and things that, like when I was in the sheet metal union, it was like no holds, but like everybody would like just join in and laugh about it, and like you just forget about it. You know what I mean? In today's society, like I would love to be a fly on the wall on a construction site just to see how people are acting. You know what I mean?
But I think the big difference is that there are like these jokes that are made, these off color remarks, all these kind of things that are said. But I don't think that the intent is hate. I think that's what draws it. Yeah.
No, it's locker room humor.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, especially our age and our era, Generation X even, like you had thick skin because, the jokes were different. We grew up on
Mel Brooks movies.
Yeah, Archie Bunker, the Jeffersons, it's like they all sorts of the Sanford and Son.
Oh yeah.
Married with Children. I mean, I can go on and on. Like but in today's society, it's like everybody's like, oh,
yeah,
clutching the pearls. You know what I mean? Give me a break. But I think everybody's gotten a little soft, especially like the last few years. I feel like people have gotten ridiculously overly sensitive.
And we're not sitting here trying to justify racism. I mean, that's not the point. It's the idea that like people say things and we get that, and it's. I mean, you do have to know your audience, and then like, I mean, you can say stuff with a mixed group of people.
My wife always says like, you don't read the room very well. I guess I don't, because I do say some things out, the off color, quote unquote, and I piss people off. It's like that's who I am. So I mean, but yeah. Anyway, definitely when you work for a government agency, a municipality. You should probably keep that to a minimum, or like next to nil.
Yeah.
Right? Especially if you're like have a supervisor position. You just gotta watch it,
Yeah.
But hey, more power to her. She's retired now almost.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, they were doing well. Her husband's a sergeant with Fresno PD. I'm not sure if he's retired yet. And they were doing okay for themselves already anyway. But it's just the idea that like now, you don't have to go to work.
Well, that's one hell of a golden shower. Golden handshake.
Yeah, oh yeah, no. As soon as that payment goes through, I'm pretty sure she'll be doing great. Not that she was hurting in the first place.
Yeah.
But no. Anyway, City of Fresno. One more thing, it's been in the news, man. It was kind of funny. Like I kind of mentioned it a little bit beforehand before we started recording, and then we started re-recording because we fucked up the first one.
I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Well, I'm actually blaming Steve Jobs for this because this is fucking iPhone that stopped recording.
Piece of shit.
I'm telling you. Anyway,
Hope you die.
I think he died, dude. Yeah.
Oh, then never mind.
And so, it was a story of some guy who was like running for city council, and it was like some like weird little dude, and he was like, yeah, no, he wanted to run for city council, and then it comes out later on that he was like a registered sex offender.
Oh yeah. I haven't watched any news. I don't watch local news at all, but I kept hearing from other people.
It's going to be like 48 degrees in Guatemala.
Yeah, this is the kind of shit I hear. But yeah, I kept hearing it, but I don't know the specifics. Like,
no.
Not that it matters, but what kind of sex offender is he?
I didn't get too much into details. It was more of like a broad story for me. It was kind of like, okay, this dude, he's a registered sex offender. And this is my thought process. It wasn't even like what they were talking about on the news. And then everybody, he's going to run for city council. And then everybody got worked up. Everybody was like, no, we got to change the rules. We can have sex offenders run for council. Only different kind of crooks, that can be politicians. Right. And so then it was kind of funny because I was like, well, I mean, like, dude, you can run, but like, are you gonna win? Like, who's their fucking opponent? Like, how bad are you? Like, what did you do that you don't think you're gonna beat this dude? Or what's the pool look like that we're not gonna have somebody better than a registered sex offender who's gonna actually win?
Like I'm a little nosy. Like I'm wondering who the whistleblower was, who's the person that came forward. Obviously it's it's knowledge that's out there. It's public
Yeah, yeah,
knowledge.
yeah.
But sometimes you have to do a little investigating to find out, like, oh, such and such. So I mean, if it was an opponent or if it was somebody that knew him already that's brought it up online. I don't know the specifics about it, but I'm curious to know how that came about, and I would have loved to see the reaction when he found out that people knew.
It's funny too because they were like, well, you're not allowed to be around like schools. I think churches is one of them.
Really,
Which,
churches?
Well, yeah, no, schools and churches. I think churches is like one of them. They don't want sex offenders unless they're priests. I guess that's what it comes down to. And so, well, Catholic churches. But anyway, yeah, they were like, yeah, no, the certain place, like, you got to be like 250 feet away from Chuck E. Cheese or, shit like that. I don't fucking know what it is.
That sucks. What if you're hungry?
Well, yeah, enough. What if you want shit pizza, but you want to like try to spend $4,800 to earn a new racer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tough. You know what sucks? I don't really want to go down this fucking road, but I I knew a person in the Bay Area when I worked in the Bay Area.
Jeff.
He was accused of, I don't think he ever went to jail or anything like that, but I remember hearing from a friend that yeah, it
He
was
fucking
all
did it.
No, it was all dropped. Like he was exonerated, but it wasn't before like he lost his wife and all sorts of shit. Like his world went to shit because some fucking asshole said, that he did this, and come to find out years later that didn't happen.
Oh,
And
man.
that hurts me, like that people are out there being wrongly accused, and meanwhile obviously these other assholes out there that
Yeah.
but they're out there. There's some innocent people out there that, and sometimes all you need is an accusation. Like they don't even need proof. It's like you ever see all these Facebook warriors, so they find out
yeah,
such and such, and they go on there and they go investigate, and they put all these people's lives on blast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Without knowing all the information. It's like, just leave it for the authorities, man. Don't fuck somebody's life up just because you're like, oh, he's a sexual predator. You don't know that. Let the due process happen. Don't go out there and start, beating somebody out up online, because then it's like wildfire.
You know what's fucked up is that the media does it.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, no, it's just it's really bad because it's like they're only telling half the story. They put out like a portion. They want you to have an opinion of something without all the facts.
Right.
And I mean, well, granted, this dude was an actual sex offender, and they did put that out there, and then everybody overreacted, and it's like, again, I mean, what's the opponent look like that you're really worried this guy might actually win? Like, what did he do? Like, is he a murderer? Like, who's he running against?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, who? Like, what did the other like? What has to happen for this guy to actually win? I mean, at the end of the day, he wanted to run, and everybody got upset, but would he win?
No.
So what are they worried about? I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of dumb.
It's just that what if thing, it kind of sticks to people. They lose sleep at night. Well, the problem is a lot of people out there are worrying too much about other people. Right? You see, like the Karens in the world, the hall monitors. It's like, just calm down. Like let things fall. You know what I mean? You don't got to be overly involved. And I know that a lot of that was happening because that's like the Scarlet Letter.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like witch hunts, and you have knowledge about a particular person, take it to the authorities and let them work it out. Don't go extra and then make things worse, you know? Especially when you got to consider um, maybe he has other family members that didn't know, or,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? You could ruin their fucking lives too. Just, but no, he wouldn't have
No, he wouldn't have
won.
won.
So,
It's kind of funny. I wasn't, I normally don't talk too much about work because I don't like to get too much into it because of what I do. And, I do have to be careful what I say and certain, on the podcast. I can't, post a bunch of dumb stuff on my social media. And, because I still need a paycheck. I still need to eat. I still need a place to live. And so it's funny that, you talk about like these people that are like worried about other people. And, I was going to kind of lightly touch on what happened recently. Actually yesterday.
dun, dun, dun.
We don't have a button for that one,
We
but
need one.
go ahead.
Dun, dun, dun.
There it goes.
Go ahead.
And so we had I was sitting at my desk and my supervisor's all, "Hey man, do you have a minute?" And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, what's going on?" Apparently I had a complaint against me. And the nature of what I do, we get complaints all the time. I'm like, yeah, whatever, dude. And so I actually talked to a guy that wanted to talk to my supervisor so that way he can file a complaint and whatever. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. You still got to do what I'm telling you to do. And so this was a little bit different, because I go to work, we're issued some stuff that we have to wear. And then there's like a little bit more casual, you can have some jeans on, you have regular shoes. I got some work boots there at my desk. So if I have to like go out into the field for anything and deal with certain things or whatever. And there are some people at work that listen, so they're probably going to hear this for the first time. I wasn't talking to about this to too many people because it was kind of silly, it was kind of petty, and it never really bothered me that I was getting talked to about this, but it was just kind of funny. And here's the thing: like when you're not doing anything wrong, you don't worry about it. That's like a big part of like. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm not going to spend any time on this because it doesn't fucking matter. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I get called in and normally, I don't know. Like I do my best to, dress up for work. I'm not always in the office. I'm out in the field. And so, excuse me.
Sorry.
Sorry, Bob. I have, my work clothes on and stuff. And so he goes, "Hey," so it was my immediate supervisor. So we have a boss above him, and then we have a boss above that person. This person got a complaint about me that I was out of dress code, or that my dress code, like I had a dress code violation or some kind of something going on. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like I look like everybody else. And so, they were like, well, the boss, she was like, well, I can't make him shave his beard.
Yeah,
There's
he's
no
Jewish.
shalom. And so, I was like, well, what's the thing? She's like, okay, well, his hair's growing out a little bit, but I can't, tell him to cut his hair. There's no regulation against it, so I'm looking at the county code or whatever. And, they have like the, the MOU, and they have all the, we talked about MOU before. But yeah, the dress code that's, standard for the people that work there. And so then I'm like, well, what happened? And I'm like, so I started reading through it, and I'm like, well, I don't know what a fucking romper is, but I know I don't wear that. And, I don't wear spaghetti strap shirts, and, but this is like county wide. So, I'm sure it covers from like
Were your titties hanging out?
only the left one, only the,
It's because you just got up, right?
well, no, because what do you call it? The nips, they sit a little bit crooked.
Mhm.
And so, I'm a little bit embarrassed. So I don't
Mine
really talk about
cross-eyed.
it. Yeah, no. Well, no, it's, what do you call it? Yeah. It, anyway, I don't,
Go right
yeah,
into it.
I've gone too far. So then, I get called over, and I'm like, well, cause now I'm curious. I'm like, well, fuck, I don't think I'm doing anything wrong.
Wait, is it the big bulge in the crotch? Because that's been bothering me for years.
that's what it, honestly, that's what ended up happening. They're like, it's fine
Put
when
your
you,
dick away.
they're like, when you come to work and you Captain Morgan everywhere, you just kick up that one leg and you want to have conversations with people.
oh, excuse me. Did you rub on them
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that?
yeah. And so,
No, I've gone too far. Go ahead.
no, it was okay. It was okay. Oh, what do you call overruled? I spent some time in court, and so then, anyway, so I asked my supervisor, well, hey, dude, because he's also a friend of mine, and he didn't. I wasn't getting talked to. He was more giving me the heads up that this was coming my direction, and so I wasn't blindsided by anything. He was like, hey, man, this is what I was told. And I'm like, oh, hey, I appreciate you coming to me. I appreciate the heads up. Like, I'm not being defensive about it. I'm like, let me ask you though, what do you think this could possibly be? And so, it got brought up about me wearing my glasses everywhere, like my sunglasses. So I have a pair of Ray-Bans, and they're gray, and they're a little bit lighter on the tint on them or whatever. And what people don't realize, and I ended up having to put them on in court, their prescription. So I put them on. I'm sitting in court, and the opposing attorney, the city's attorney, is like, "Hey, can you go?" I had like binders and binders and binders right next to me, and they're like, "Can you open up this, that, and whatever?" She's like, "Your Honor, let me actually approach the bench so I can open up the page." I was like, "Yeah, you said open the binder. There's like 8 of them right here," and so she's like, "Can you read what it says?" And I'm like, "Okay." So I end up putting my sunglasses on, which I feel like I'm being a little disrespectful because
You were trying to look cool, looking through the binders.
I was going for dope. But yeah, anyway, so then I find myself wearing my glasses, and when I realize I'm looking over at the attorney, and I read that stuff, and I still had them on. I'm like, oh, I took them off. I'm sorry, I apologize. These are prescription. I can't see the letters. I can't read without them on. I can't see. And they're like, everybody got it. Everybody was like, okay, cool.
You didn't put them on to yell out Thug Life?
Yeah, no, I did, dude. Well, I'm like, I'm not on trial. Fuck it. You know what I mean? What do I have to lose? I got a job somewhere else. And so then it was, brought up again. He's like, well, maybe it's your glasses, dude. And I'm like, well, shit, these are like $600 pair of Ray-Bans. Like, between the prescription and the actual, frames themselves and everything, I'm like, they're not like, they're not cheap. They're not ghetto. They're not, like shitty glasses or whatever, and I do wear them because I do have to see. And he's like, well, dude, I don't even know. So then it was just one of those things. I start reading through the code, the dress code, and all that stuff.
So wait a minute, he didn't even know?
Dude, he didn't have a problem with it.
No, was that the problem?
Well, he didn't know what the actual issue was. It was the boss's boss that got a complaint.
Isn't that slander? Like, at least, okay, you have a complaint. Okay, what the fuck is it?
Yeah.
Well, I really can't speak to it. Well, then what the fuck? How do I correct it? You know what I mean?
And that's what, I ended up going to another employee who was kind of higher up and in charge, and I said, hey, man, quick question. But the thing was, I didn't want to sway his opinion on anything. So I didn't tell him I had already been talked to. And I was like, hey, real quick, do I look like a piece of shit? Basically.
Well, I don't know. Put on your glasses.
And then he's like, oh, yeah, I see it now. You fucking piece of shit. Could you get out of my office? And so I was like, well, I don't know why, later on. Well, today when I found out, so fast forward. Meanwhile, this whole thing didn't bother me because I read the code and I'm like, okay, I'm within everything. Yeah, my hair's longer. I have a beard. I wear my glasses. I'm still an individual. I work at this place. I'm here for 40 hours that you're paying me, but this isn't my life. I still have, my own.
You don't know my life.
Yeah, you don't know me like that. And so, at the end of the day, you're still, just an employee somewhere, and you're just, doing a job. And the fucked up part about it is that I don't get called into the office to be like, hey, Ace, you're fucking up, man. Like, your work is shit. You're inaccurate. Your deadlines aren't made. You're not hitting your times. You're not doing this. You're not doing that.
That sounds like a page out of my book.
Well, see, but you don't wear glasses.
Yeah, I do.
You don't have sunglasses like mine that make you a piece of shit.
I did it one time.
Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Piece of shit. Anyway, so yeah, it was like, I think I would be more like, okay, I can like, because you're also like trying to like correct stuff prior to, being fucking called in. Because as an adult, the last thing you want is somebody to be telling you what to do telling you what you should be doing. Because you should know already, you're already like I'm grown. Like, I know what's expected of me. I don't want people telling me because it's fucking embarrassing, dude. And so when I get called in for this and I'm like, well, what am I doing different? Like everybody else looks like this. I mean, I do wear some Vans and, I do have a little, it's still office attire. It's still, field attire. It's still, but I still put my twist onto it where like, it's still me, and
I would have sent the email to everybody. All right. What did I do? Who said it?
which one of you motherfuckers is
I
calling
would
me
say
out?
like, let's squash this already. Let me know I'm doing something wrong. I'll correct it.
I'll see you by the bike rack, motherfucker.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's what will be in my head, but I mean, like, that's so stupid.
But
so
it's that Facebook warrior mentality, though, dude. That's what I'm talking about. That's
Yeah.
what kind of segued into
well,
this
they
whole.
can't. It's anonymous, so was that
Yeah.
what it was? Was it an anonymous complaint?
No, it was really unanimous. Like everybody's like, this guy's a piece of shit, and look at his glasses. And no, I honestly, like, I never got. I mean, I let it go because I never got any more feedback on it because it kind of didn't matter. Like it was a done situation. Like they didn't really even talk to me like officially.
Well-
but my supervisor did give me the heads up, which I do appreciate.
Well, that's good. I mean, I don't know if you should be saying that, but
No. Eventually they all found out. So the funny story is, this whole thing with this $15 million lawsuit, I went over to the boss's office and I was like, hey, by the way, did you hear? The city of Fresno got sued for $15 million. Later on, come to find out, they're like, hey, never
Well,
mind.
that's
Stand down,
my point.
squash it, don't matter.
that's my point because to me that almost sounds like harassment towards you.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? I wouldn't worry about it. You know why? Because you'd have to murder somebody to lose your job.
Yeah. No, that's what it comes down to. And it's just that thing where I was like, this is kind of petty. Like, I mean, I'm happy that this is like the biggest thing you can throw at me, and even then it can't stick because like I still wasn't breaking any of the rules, and the messed up part and the thing that I wish I can actually go through and see is like obviously there's people that didn't like you when you worked for the city of Fresno, and there's people that fucking loved you, right? And that's the same thing that I'm getting at here with me. It's like, I mean, I have some people that do like my humor, that do get me, and then there's always somebody that you rub the wrong way, and that's just fucking life.
Yeah.
And so, one of these people that maybe possibly it just doesn't like my person. We just have a fucking personality conflict.
Well, you're such a fucking smartass.
And that's what it comes down to. But the thing at the end of the day is like, I do my fucking job and I would have your fucking back in any situation
Yep.
where, you might like your buddy over here, but they're going to fucking bail on you in a tough situation, which that's not me.
Yeah.
And so it ended up today we had this conversation. So, I have a pretty good relationship with my supervisor. He's a good friend of mine, and, outside of work, inside of work and all that kind of stuff. And, he's like, hey man, yeah, when you told that story about the lawsuit, it was like, oh, no, stand down. There's no worries. Don't even fucking worry about it. We don't have $15 million to give this guy because he likes to fucking wear prescription glasses. But it was one of those things where too, like, I'm like, well, dude, I wasn't really worried in the first place because I didn't do anything wrong,
Yeah.
and
I mean, because when you really do something wrong, you feel it in your gut.
yeah, you know that you should be worried.
Unless you're a complete fucking idiot, which I know you're not.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Well, not complete, but like
You know-
half.
let it roll
Yeah.
off. Who cares?
No, and it didn't bother me, but it did make for kind of a good story. Oh, well, at least a story. I don't know about good or not.
No,
but
it was a fucking cliffhanger. That was
Yeah.
not a good story. I didn't know what you did.
fuck, here's the thing is, you know what? I'm going to talk about it, but I'm going to save it for another time.
We'll wait for the sequel.
Well, yeah, we'll wait. We'll wait for it.
All right.
Bob, sorry, but you're not going to get it all today because I don't want to fucking give it all right now. I want to make sure you listen next week,
Speaking, I got a story. Speaking of Bob,
but we'll save it for next time.
It's only a one part.
Oh, shit.
No, actually, I don't know. It could go on and on. So
We're a family show.
You of all people know I'm a big fan of fantasy sports. I'm a participant. I've been doing fantasy football forever. The other sports, not so much. I did do basketball back in the day before I had internet, and it was through the Sporting News. And there was no instant gratification when it came to results. So it's like I didn't know if my guys were doing good or not. I couldn't switch them out in time, and I pretty much sucked. But anyway, I stayed with fantasy football as long as I've been on the internet. Never in my life have I played fantasy baseball.
But you're the only guy that can make fantasy football racist still. I don't know how you do it, bro.
Well, it's the names I choose.
yeah.
But anyway.
I'm like, let me get Ladavius.
Oh, we'll get to that in another story. But anyway, so Bob, my lovely brother-in-law, he asked me if I wanted to get in fantasy baseball. I was like, hell yeah, because nobody's ever asked
baseball?
me.
Wow, okay.
But he's got some cronies, I guess, at work. I don't know. And I'm like, yeah, man, sign me up. So anyway, the other day, I'm writing down names because I haven't followed baseball really besides last year, just because the Mariners were doing good. You know, I was like rooting for them to, go all the way, and they came up short. But I hadn't followed baseball really since the doping era,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, yeah.
That's when I knew all the players. So I had to, do some research. If I'm going to be any good in this fucking draft coming up on Sunday, I need to like investigate, like who's good, who's who, whatever. So anyway, I don't have a printer right now. My printer took a fucking shit, like everything else before the move. So I'm on my laptop and I'm writing down these names. And I gotta tell you, man, these fucking names I was writing down just seemed off. Like they almost sounded made up. Like, but it dawned on me that okay, we've been diversified a little bit since when I paid attention to baseball. There's no more John Smiths and all these American sounding names. You got people immigrating from other countries and so they all have just kind of different names. And what's funny is as I'm writing them down, I noticed like there are people that like a Spanish last name, but the first name is like English last name. It's like Mackenzie Perez, and shit like that. I thought it was funny. So it got me to thinking, and I kind of chuckled as I was writing these names down, trying to rank these players. I remembered when I played video games back in the 80s, a lot of these games were developed by Japanese
yeah,
or,
like Nintendo,
overseas,
yeah.
Korea, wherever the fuck. But
Same thing.
they used to have, these kind of fill-in players that you would play against, and they would have these quote unquote American sounding names, but like it was like how the Japanese thought American names would sound, like Randy Ledbetter Smith, or whatever. They were just Longfellow Dunn or whatever. It's just a bunch of like fucking chopped up and sewn together and it's like that. Obviously they want to cater towards the Westerners and they want to make it sound American, but it sounds so fucking stupid, right? So they would kind of Frankenstein these names together. And then I also thought about the 90s, about how, in the 90s, like black people, they really got crazy with naming their kids. And you could see the product of that in today's young black athletes. They got these names like fucking LaDonkashawn and fill in the gap Isha. You know what I mean? It's like they got all these funky names. And some of them were cool, to each his own. They're trying to be different, but some were just like fucking out there. And so I'm writing these fucking names down, and I was just busting up because it's like, well, they want to be different. They want to separate them from what, because I came from an era of Johns and Mikes and Joes, and it's like those are so common. And nowadays you got like such a diverse ethnicities. And go ahead.
It's kind of a funny thing that I do when I go to like, I don't know, like the touristy places. You go out of town and you're in the Bay Area, you go to Fisherman's Wharf, you go to Pismo, and you're, at these different places, and every place has like this fucking, it says Pismo on it or Pier 39 or Pier 1 Imports. I don't know. Anyway, so and you go through and you try to find your fucking name, right? You like, they have those keychains or whatever, the little deal, and it has like a little engraving on it, or it might be like some little thing that flashes and it has your name on it or whatever. And like now you're starting to see like Muhammad, and like different, it's Emmanuel Muhammad.
Did you find Manuel?
I do find my name.
I'd find John and Paul.
Yeah.
But I'd have to get two of them.
Yeah. But no, but when you get to these names, that are like really, really just made up. I mean, well, I guess every name has been made
Yeah.
up, but like that's like super like out there, like, or when you spell, somebody's name, but you don't spell it the right way.
Oh yeah, like
know.
what was it, Erica?
Yeah,
AIR Rekka. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You see that on the
or ERYK underscore WA. The W is silent, by the way.
like I've seen Michael MYKAL.
Yeah.
That was kind of a trip, but I mean maybe that's how they spell it in other countries.
It sounds Russian, huh?
Probably no,
Yeah.
that would be Mikhail.
Maybe.
Mikhail. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
But anyway, what you're seeing is this, this kind of melting pot, and this like, some Dominican lady was like, "Oh, I like this name." Like, I didn't bring my paper with me. Maybe I'll bring it next week because my draft's on Sunday. But I highlighted all these players, and they all just sounded weird. But I saw this one that kind of sticks out. The only one I remembered was his first name was O'Neill. His last name's Cruz. You know what I mean? So it's like an Irish last name for a first name, and then Cruz.
Yeah.
And he was from a Latin American country. I don't know. I haven't done enough research, but I gotta get down on it because there's what do we got? Like 4 days left before my draft. But I just thought it was funny. It's like it's not a knock on these people. You know what I mean? It's like, change is gonna come, and I really felt old. You know what I mean? Because I was laughing. I was like, in my day, it was John Smith and this and that. I don't want to sound like an asshole, but it's just funny how...
I'll go ahead and mute your mic.
What was I saying? But anyway, I just thought I brought that up.
No, it's one of those things too, man. It's like, name your kids names that, like, if they're on vacation, they could still find their fucking keychain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's how you want to pick names.
Look at Robert Handy.
Yeah.
Bob. He's the third. He's Robert, and his son's the fourth, and they're probably going to keep it going
until they get to George Foreman.
Yeah. My cousin Alexis, I just found out recently. Him and I kind of got acquainted.
Okay, I thought you were going to say a lady.
No,
Okay.
he's a man.
Okay,
and his name's Alexius.
Alexis.
But he has two sons named Alexius, and I just found this out because. Well, his oldest son from another previous marriage. Apparently, he named that son Alexius too. But I knew the younger one.
Oh, I thought you said Alexis.
Well, I call him Alex. He goes by Alex sometimes, but it's Alexius because it's
Alexius.
Alexias. But
it's like Christina. You get my wife's name right.
But yeah, I just got to know him about maybe 15 years ago. We didn't grow up together because our dads were on the outs, and but once we hit it off, and
they had a fight over the name.
But there's still like a lot of things I don't know about him. It's not like we hang out with each other all the time. You know what I mean?
One of them's like, "How do you spell your name?"
Yeah. So his oldest is Isaac, and that's Isaac Jr. Mm-hmm. And then he's got an older sister, Nicole. And that's another thing, too. Like, I have a cousin on my mom's side. Her name's Nicole, and it's Nichole.
Oh, the Nicole?
Yeah, Nicole.
Yeah.
Well,
or like
my cousin on my dad's side, Alexius is and Isaac's sister, she doesn't have an H.
Or like when you have Sean and Cian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One's an Irish Sean, the other one's just like, fuck, I can't spell it.
Cian.
Yeah, so it comes down to that. All these names it could just be, you could have some fucking illiterate parents that are like, oh, I like this name. And then they spell it a certain way. Oh, well.
I have another question, man, just to play on what you're talking about with the whole fantasy baseball. Like, I've done, fantasy football. And, you have a limited amount of games or whatever, but there's like fucking 800 games in the fucking baseball season.
And that's why I got to be on my shit.
Because there's like 100 teams, dude. And how do you even fucking play that? Like, when does it end?
I don't know, because I know some do it like half a season till All-Star break.
Oh, okay.
And then they go another season.
Like
so I don't know how this is going to work. All I know is I want to draft the best possible players I can, and then it's by position. You know, you have like, you know, the catcher first, second, shortstop, third. You have so many pitchers. You have utility players. You have outfielders.
Like
And
I couldn't even see fucking doing this till like September, dude.
yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be tough for me. That's why I'm trying to, you know, investigate a little bit, and
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see how it happens. You know, because when I first did fantasy football, I wasn't very good. You know, 15, 20 years later, I'm still not very good.
Yeah, no.
But at least I know what I'm doing.
That's me. That's me at my job. Yeah.
But it should be fun. I'm excited for it because, like, you know, I had a resurgence of excitement.
And apparently I'm dressed like a hobo.
Huh?
And apparently I'm dressed like a
Well, you
hobo.
wore those sunglasses and you
Yeah, man. I don't know.
look like a real douchebag.
I apparently. Yeah, no.
Anyway, I don't know what else you got, but I noticed we're getting pressed for time.
Well, no, actually, that's not even the right time because we had to restart.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
So how many minutes do we have?
I couldn't even tell you, dude, because it's on the actual phone, but I can't see that far
Okay.
because it would require me looking like
You're
a douche.
cutting into my time now.
It would require me looking like a douchebag to fucking put my glasses on so I could see the fucking time on the phone.
Well, as long as it's recording.
Yeah,
that's
no,
all
it's
that matters.
recording. It's recording.
All right, real quick. I want to talk about my new business venture I kind of fell into.
And there I was at work. Anyway, go
Nobody
ahead.
cares about
Yeah.
Xfinity.
Yeah. Thanks, Michael.
Anyway, so a while back, he's not really a friend. He's an acquaintance. You know, he's a merchant. He's a fellow merchant. I kind of consider myself a merchant. You know, I sell, I buy, I flip stuff. You know, and you know, I sell on eBay and stuff like that. But I saw what I thought was a good deal. This guy was selling these 2 big ass boxes of comics for X amount of dollars. And I was like, I wonder if I can Jew him down a little bit.
Sounds rapey.
Anyway, I met up with him and I was like, hey man, would you take this and this and that? Yeah, man, take it. Blah, blah, blah. So whatever. So I thought I was getting a good deal, and guess what? I did get a good deal because I did some
I was going to
research.
guess.
Huh?
I was going to answer and guess.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Did
Go
you?
ahead, guess.
You got a bad deal?
No, I got a
Oh,
good
okay.
deal.
All right. Yeah.
Um,
50-50.
Yeah, I found out, you know, these comics were, you know, there was quite a few in there that were worth, you know, significantly more.
It was like Dave Chappelle,
Significantly.
George Carlin, Richard Pryor.
Not
Eddie
those
Murphy.
kind of comics,
Oh, okay. My bad. Anyway, yeah. All right.
comic books.
Oh,
okay?
oh.
Marvel, DC. You know the difference between those two?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't much of a DC guy. I grew up collecting Marvel comics.
They're a little
but-
bit darker.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty gory.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got some comic books that were in good condition. I did a little bit of research online,
Richard Pryor.
and man, I got some good shit. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna post these individually. You know, kind of delegate between auction or buy now. You know, those are the options that you have on there. So as I'm going through them, I'm like, man, there's some good shit here. And I'm starting to get watchers and this and that. But anyway, so in the meantime, I've been like kind of networking with these different collectors and
Nerds.
yeah, pretty much comic book nerds. Well, not just comic book nerds, but like collectors
They're like,
in general.
Mom, more meatloaf.
Yeah, from the basement.
Yeah, remember that? Yeah.
But anyway, so I met a few people, you know, and I reach out and I ask questions, and I'm like, okay, well, what about this? Well, I would do this and this, and well, what do you got? You know, and just talking with people and kind of networking a little bit. You get on Facebook and shit. It's like nerdy shit. Anyway, I met this guy, and this guy, I won't give his name. Just know he's a like a longtime merchant. He's like a heavy dealer, right? And he's straight up with you. He has a supplier. He gets a certain amount. He, you know, puts a price on it, and he sells it to other people. Well,
We're going to give him a 1980s Nintendo name. His name is Rob Leaderbender. That's his name.
so I hooked up with this guy today for the first time in person,
Rob.
and yeah, he bought me a box or brought me a box, and I paid an X amount of dollars, and he's like, I guarantee you, what's in here, X amount of dollars, and I'm like, well, that sounds good. So I was kind of checking them out, before I got out of the car today. And I was like, I'm so excited. It's like I feel like I'm getting into the comic book dealing business. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Just
wow.
based
Yeah.
off what I got so far, and then the inclusion of this guy. He's like, every 2 weeks, let's meet up. I can get you another box. You can get them whatever. So like I'm kind of weighing that right now, depending on what he actually gave me. And of course, here's the thing: when you deal with comic books, you got to make sure these things are protected, because you could bend a corner like that,
Oh yeah.
and it could totally decrease the value like 50%. So if you get comics and they don't have like the cardboard backing or plastic sleeve, get them, because they'll deteriorate. They'll get moisture, bugs, moths, fucking cats, dogs pissing on them. So treat them. Because and if you do all that stuff and you put them in a nice, neat box, they won't take up a lot of space, because these boxes that come with them, they're stackable. And I did buy some.
Yeah.
I bought the cardboard backing, and you buy this shit from China, it's not that expensive. So if you're interested in maybe getting in comic book collecting, get the plastic, get the boards. And if you're planning on shipping them, like if you do eBay, make sure you get the right packaging. Just type it in, shipping comic books. They'll send you the right shit, on Amazon. You have to spend a little extra money, but you got to make sure the comic books that you're sending or you're trying to sell is going to pay for everything.
I have actually, I never really talk about it, but I have a collection of comics in storage.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'd be happy to take those off your hands. Or you're saving them for Mike?
Well, yeah, no, because what do you call it? I'm probably gonna get fired for this episode, so I figured, fuck, I gotta leave him something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I was over here talking shit about my job. I'm like, fuck him, I don't care.
Well, everybody is, at least in our era, has collected. So I collected baseball cards and football cards at one time. Bob had a kind of a resurgence of that in the last few years. Him and Billy, they go on these auction sites and they buy a bunch and they try to sell it. I don't know if they really spend a lot of time selling it.
Dude, speaking of, so okay, I have the saltwater aquarium, and I have this one piece of coral that I bought. Go to Disneyland all the time, and
The one that was fucking?
no, this is a different
Oh,
one,
I was
dude.
thinking of the sea anemone? What's the one that
The anemone
Oh, I'm
just
sorry, I
started
didn't mean to ruin
splitting.
the
Yeah,
story. Go ahead.
and so no, but this is a different one, dude. There was a place over in Anaheim. So anytime I'm like out of town, I try to go over and look at like these places that sell coral, because some places get different things than other places or whatever. And then there's like some kind of, I don't want to say like embargo or something. I don't know what it actually is. But no, in Indonesia, where a lot of them come from, they haven't struck some kind of deal where we can still import. They're not able to export some of their coral.
Like
And
black
so-
market type of shit?
Well,
or
no,
what?
I think a lot of stuff has been like farm grown. So now you
Oh,
but it's still the whole like supply demand thing. The whole why the prices kind of go up at certain points or whatever. And so I had this one coral that I got from I want to say it was like Amazing Aquarium or something like that. They're out of Anaheim, right up the street from Disneyland. And so I'd go over there, anytime I was at Disneyland in Southern California, I'd go over there and check this place out. And he knew, where Fresno was. He actually had a friend of his over here. Well, no, because, like you go like, dude, a lot of people, well, no, I mean, seriously, like a lot of people.
Fresno? What's that?
Where's that? Yeah, you have to go like Central Valley or something. And so he has a buddy of his who actually, deals with coral out here in this area, but he doesn't have a shop. He just grows stuff at home and, sells on Marketplace or whatever, part of the different groups that people follow. And it was his buddy named Jeremy. And so he was like, oh yeah, I got a friend out there, Jeremy, blah blah blah. He gave me his number. He's like, yeah, no, just hit him up if you ever want it, and anything. He has a bunch of stuff over there. And so I was looking at one of his doors that he has, like as a little back room, and normally people don't go back there, but I had been like become like pretty like cool with this dude or whatever, and he had this giant poster of a like Garbage Pail Kid. Remember those
Oh,
old cards?
oh yeah.
Dude, I have a bunch of them.
Do you really?
Yeah, I really do.
That's big
What,
money.
dude?
Do you
When
have
we're
them protected?
they're in a box,
You know, I can sell them for you.
and well, I'll dude. After we're done here, I'll show them to you.
Okay.
And so then, anyway, uh, this dude got into Garbage Pail Kids, and he's like, going to all these different conventions and stuff, and he started talking about, I guess there's like these like foiled ones, like they have like a new edition of stuff that just came out or whatever. There's a bunch of different cards that are like sets or whatever. He's like, yeah, I just got the set for like $2,000 off of this guy. It's actually a pretty good deal. They're worth probably like $6,000 or whatever.
I believe it.
And it was like a whole And so even that has kind of made a comeback. You're talking about comics, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, George Carlin. Anyway, comic books.
But here, real
Thor,
quick,
Superman.
this is the thing about the stuff that we collected. This newer generations, they don't give a shit about it. They got their own thing, digital readers, manga, which is like a Japanese comic books and graphic novels, and they're like hardback. They don't give a shit about the comics that we grew up reading, that little
Yeah.
soft, flimsy shit. People that are collecting them and keeping it alive are people our age.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I would, my advice to you, if you have them, hold on to them or sell them to me, and protect them, because there's going to be a time where they start to kind of disappear, and with that, the price goes up.
Yeah. No, it'll come back around.
Yeah.
And the market, like for certain things, baseball cards, it kind of dropped for a minute.
Yeah.
Certain cards that you had like complete sets or whatever, that stuff just kind of went away. But then there was like this like I don't know, like for whatever reason, like whatever trend that people got back into or whatever, that whole market just like kicked back up again, and
Yeah,
certain
it's
things
kind
are
of like
selling.
a re-envisioned, if that's the right term.
I think it's for the reason we use like vintage.
Yeah.
You
Probably.
add that, and then it just fucking adds value to everything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
nostalgia thing.
yeah.
So I'm always looking out for shit that are in the 80s. Man, these comics that I got, man, there's some in the 70s, 80s, some that I remember reading. I have antique comics
Yeah, same here.
right now. It's like,
Yeah.
that's crazy to think about, because I'm like, God, that doesn't seem so long ago, but we're old as fuck. So, like, no wonder these are worth a certain amount.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I bought it. Like I think it was like when that Batman Michael Keaton movie came out.
Yeah.
I want to say I probably paid like $3, and like right now, you sitting down?
Yeah.
I could probably sell it for $5. And I had it in storage where I paid like $80 a month for the past 28 years.
Yeah.
So you see how that works.
Well, here's the thing. It fluctuates, and it is about
I'm joking.
popularity.
Yeah.
Because I had comics that were worth $25, and today probably $5.
Yeah.
And what it is like the market is saturated with, they made a lot of them. It's like anything else. If they made, what makes it rare is if you just hold on to it, eventually people are like, I don't want this anymore. They throw it away. And it become, you have a rare item if you look for it. When you go take your Google app and you do that little lens, Google Lens, and it'll show you basically whether it's on Amazon or eBay, and here's one just like it, blah blah blah. If you don't see it, if you cannot find it online, keep that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Because it means it's rare.
But like you're saying, it does like it kind of fluctuates. I mean, you got to get when the getting's good. If you're gonna sell something and you're trying to get it at its peak, you don't know that the very next day it might drop or it might go up a little bit more, and it's kind of a gamble. You don't know when that market's just gonna fucking completely take a dump.
And as being a flipper, no, when I buy comics or anything, when I try to flip it and try to make money off of it, I'm not greedy. I'm not like some of these other assholes. Like, oh, I'm gonna get it for $5 and charge 30. No, I'm gonna try to get 25% above what I paid for it.
Yeah.
Not always. I'll look at some of the other items and see what they're going for, and I kind of get it average. But sometimes I'll be like, fuck it, I'm gonna put an auction for $1 and see what happens.
Yeah.
And sometimes that works. You lure people in, and next thing you know, it's all cha-ching, cha-ching. You're in the middle of the night, your eBay is going cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Because there are people out there that want it. You never know. You have, let's say you're a pack rat, and you have a shitload of stuff in your room, and you're never going to get rid of it. You probably have thousands of dollars sitting in your house right now. And all you got to do is liquidate it. Post it. You'll be surprised. You probably make a living off of just...
Right now, I'm going to sell JP's shirt. Anybody.
It smells good. You smell that?
He just got a new washer. Smells...
No, it's my cologne.
Downy Fresh.
I use Tide Pods.
He smells like... It's Tide Pods, and he smells like Teen Spirit.
I got this this cologne. It's overwhelming if you do more than one shot. It's called... Do you smell me at all? Do you smell it? It's called flannel or flannel shirt or some shit. Some weird name, but I fucking love the smell.
Are you sure that's not a fabric softener?
It kind of smells like it. It makes me smell clean. That's all I know.
Mine smells like fresh linen.
I gotta pee so bad. Are we about ready?
Yeah,
to
you know what?
up?
Let's wrap it up because that's pretty much the line where we're like,
yeah, we're like running out of shit.
Yeah,
to say.
No. Once my bladder starts to hurt, I'm
once
like,
I
hey,
keep
anyway,
going on and on about stupid shit, and you're like, all right, I'm going to the next episode.
I think we covered everything I had. I don't remember. I was like, what was it? City of Fresno lawsuit,
Xfinity,
pedophile council member, and fuck my job. Those are the three things I had. And Xfinity was just an add-on because fuck them too.
Hey, let's give our shout outs. Okay. Shout out to Bob and Billy at I held up Coors Light because that's Bob's drink of choice. I grabbed it. I need to make some change. So anyway, Talented But Lazy podcast, our podcast brothers. Go check them out. Snooze Fest. They're a little lower in the IQ, but if you're into that sort of shit, they're more tailored towards sports and other shit nobody cares about. It's not real high intellect shit like ours, but good couple dudes. We love them. Talented But Lazy.
Fridays at 6.
Fridays 6.
Facebook
and YouTube.
YouTube.
Wait, Facebook Live?
Facebook Live. I thought they were doing.
Okay, and then they go to YouTube the next day. Some shit like that. I don't know. I never watch them.
Yeah. Great friends.
Shout out to Now's Foot starting his new company, Bravo Ben's Cleaning. Look for him on all the formats. BravoBensCleaning.com. What else?
Was it X, Facebook, and what other?
Instagram,
yeah.
I got another one of these banners coming to my house for when we do a show in my gazebo. We're gonna have an outdoor probably weekend.
I think it's pronounced garbanzo, but anyway.
Yeah, I have a garbanzo in my backyard.
Yeah.
I want to get it cleaned up. I got to get it sanded and painted, and I'm working on some solar lights. But it won't be available until it's 150 degrees. So.
Oh, can't wait! Yeah. No, I love being hot for free. Not at work.
Or we might just do it in my office.
Yeah.
I got an office.
This is the Ace Night podcast. We're about to pass out.
A bunch of comics in the back. It'll look great.
Is it Orphis?
Yeah. But anyway, I'm about ready to piss my pants. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Ace Night podcast.
Out.